listening to 40 Weeks, a production of the Pregnancy Podcast with Vanessa Merton. Visit pregnancypodcast.com/week for all of the 40 Weeks resources and sign up with your due date to get each episode delivered to your inbox when you start a new week of your pregnancy. Thank you for tuning in to the 40 Weeks podcast. Welcome to week 38. Only 2 weeks to go. See a picture of what your baby looks like this week, read the transcript, and access the additional resources at pregnancypodcast.com/week38. Your baby, who was as big as a canary melon, is growing to the size of a mini watermelon this week. Your baby measures 19.3 inches or 49 centimeters and weighs 7.1 pounds or 3.2 kilograms. Vernix and lanugo continue to be shed from your baby's body into the amniotic fluid. Vernix is the cheese-like coating that protects their skin from the amniotic fluid, and lanugo is the downy-like hair that covers their body to keep them warm until they put on more fat. All of this gets ingested by your baby and ends up in their intestines, which will turn into your baby's first bowel movement, which consists of meconium, which is a thick, sticky, tar-like substance. Your baby isn't technically full term until next week, so you really want to wait it out and be patient. Although the changes in your baby are small this week, they are significant. Their lungs continue to mature and produce more surfactant. That prevents the air sacs in their lungs from sticking to one another once they start to breathe. Your baby continues adding fat to its body and fine-tuning its brain and nervous system. Your baby may drop lower into your pelvis in the weeks or days leading up to birth. The good news is that this gives your lungs more room, so breathing might be a little more comfortable and heartburn may ease up. The bad news is that this puts more pressure lower, which means more bathroom breaks. Don't worry if your baby is not dropping in the last few weeks of pregnancy. For some expecting moms, this happens right before labor, especially if this is not your first baby. Stimulating your nipples manually or with a breast pump prompts your pituitary gland to release oxytocin. This is the hormone responsible for contractions, and it may help bring on labor. Pitocin is a synthetic form of oxytocin that's commonly used to induce labor. There's no downside to nipple stimulation, of course, assuming you're not stimulating your nipples to the point at which they're sore. The upside is that there is evidence that this can be beneficial in getting your labor started. For a thorough examination of the evidence on all the ways to induce labor naturally, visit pregnancypodcast.com/inducing labor naturally. Many expecting mothers expect breastfeeding to just come effortlessly and to be natural and easy. Most find out the hard way that there are challenges and that breastfeeding takes a lot of work and commitment. Educating yourself about breastfeeding can help set you up and set your baby up for a successful breastfeeding relationship. There's a page on the Pregnancy Podcast website that has all of the breastfeeding episodes, as well as other websites, books, and additional resources. And you can see all of that at pregnancypodcast.com/breastfeeding. Tip for dads and partners. Your baby's birthday is almost here. If there is anything left on your to-do list, now is the time to tackle it. Sit down with your significant other, talk about any last-minute errands, purchases, or other things that you can do. This is also an excellent time to wrap up any major work projects or make sure someone else can pick up where you left off in the event that mom goes into labor and you're away from work. Having a newborn is such a special time. You do not want to be fielding work calls and emails during your time off, so please plan accordingly. Thank you for tuning in to the 40 Weeks podcast. You can see a full transcript and all of the resources for this episode at pregnancypodcast.com/week38. Next week, your baby is full term. And until then, I wish you the very best in your pregnancy journey.